You want to run this one? Child influencers can now sue their parents for wage theft. I think there's some...
I think I'm just going to sit here and look smug while you read it.
Illinois has passed a law ensuring compensation for underage social media entertainers, taking effect July next year. If a child under 16 is featured in at least 30% of monetized content, I'm excited for 29% attendance in upcoming videos. But if they're featured in at least 30% of monetized content in a 12-month period, a percentage of earnings must be placed in a trust account for the child. The percentage is based on the amount of time that child is featured. If they're in, say, 50% of a video, they would be entitled to 25% of that video's earnings.
How does that math work?
Half?
Seems like an arbitrary video.
Half.
If they're in 50% of a video,
yes,
they get a quarter of the earnings.
I think it's half of the amount of the video that you're in.
Okay. I wonder how they came to that number. I'm not saying that's a wrong number.
I have no idea.
I just... am curious.
Yeah, not a clue. While some other states require parents to set aside earnings for child entertainers in movies and television, Illinois is the first state to target child labor in social media. The idea for the law was reportedly suggested by then 15-year-old Shreya Nalamathu, who felt that parents were putting incredibly intimate and private moments of their children's lives online, and that those children were often too young to fully understand the implications, which is
100% true.
Very fair and true.
Like, absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Sorry.
Sure.
How there's that like shocking, horrifying moment that's been in TV a bunch of times and stuff, where like your new partner comes over to your parents' house for the first time, and your mom busts out the like little kids album to embarrass you.
Sure.
Now it's on the internet for everyone.
Next level, hey?
Yeah.
I was shocked to see some of the bad takes in the community when we've talked about this in the past. Like, they're my kids. What's the difference between this and, washing dishes, doing chores, or like, it's no one's business for the state to come in and tell me how I can raise my kids. And it's like, this is not about how you raise your kids. This is about child labor. When someone is in a YouTube video, even if it's a YouTube video where they are playing with something, they are working if it is monetized. That's the thing. It's monetized, they're working. I do think that something they've done well here is that they've made the trust allocation based on the actual money that it makes. There's arguments to be made either way. I think that from like a privacy standpoint, from a, hey, now that I'm an adult, I didn't consent to that. You shouldn't have done that. I think from that standpoint, we're going to see different litigation if the content didn't make any money.
Right.
But at least if the content does make money, they are getting a piece of it.
Yeah.
But I like that they're not just entitled to like an hourly wage. I think that if they are a star and if they are, featured in a significant portion of the video, you could over 30% of the monetized content? Yeah. If they are a star in the content,
30% of the monetized content in a calendar year or 12-month period. That's different. And then also, so that enables you to receive some of the cut. And then it is 50% of the percentage of the video that you're in. That's how the monetization works.
Got it. Yeah, oh man, no, I'm torn though, because on the ones where they don't make any money, well, no, they should still be entitled to minimum wage. That's what minimum wage is. And the other thing too is that it's like, oh no, it's just social media or whatever, but like there's really strict laws governing how many hours a child can work, whether it can interfere with their education, how many days they can work over a given period. And none of that is being adhered to. And no, they're not just your kids. They're not your property to just do whatever you want with. You're not allowed to be exploitative. This is not parenting. This is work, right? And even with this cut, like this doesn't address any of those issues.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is
It's beginning,
I'm calling it.
but not enough.
There's a lot more coming.
Yeah.
There's a lot more coming. And you know what's really interesting about these numbers is there's a lot of like family vlogging channels that have more than 4 kids. How does that work? I could actually see the spinning beach ball on his brain. Give me the math, Luke. What happens now?
Yeah.
Yeah, people are starting to list. They're starting to list channels that have a whole whack load of kids. Yeah. Well, how do the parents take anything? Because I think they should probably make something for turning their family into production. I think, Kris Jenner probably did okay with all of that, and that's probably,
Yeah.
mostly to the benefit of her kid. I don't know.
Jaden raises an interesting point
Sure.
that I wanted your take on. He says, on top of influencers, the laws for types of content of kids being posted by their parents, even just to Facebook for friends and family, needs to be tightened up a lot. I know of people that have made Facebook pages in the name of their child who is like 0 and then posted things all the way up.
There's so many ways for that to go.
It's very interesting.
On the one hand, they might look at it and go, wow, it's so cool to have this like catalog of, everything that I've ever done in my life.
I'm sure some people would say that.
But then there's going to be people that are like, wow, this is a huge invasion of my privacy. How could you have possibly thought that this was okay?
Yeah. A little rough.
I mean,
I like the email idea. I've always liked the email idea.
Here's the thing though, like tell me this. What is the difference between signing away your kids' rights on Facebook and signing away your kids' rights on a traditional media or television production?
It's monetized versus not.
Well,
yeah.
the media, I mean, either of them could be or couldn't be, I guess.
Fair enough.
So what's the difference? If people just have power of attorney for their children, I'm not saying it's right for people to just post everything about their child on Facebook. I'm just asking, is it any different?
Someone asked, what's the email idea? I don't know if this was an original idea of yours.
It's not an original idea.
So the idea is that you set up an email and then you email that email like journal thoughts about the kid.
Little fun stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I haven't stayed as on top of it as I would have liked to. I mean, there's still time. It's just one of those things that stuff happens and life gets busy and you don't think to like write a bunch of emails, but there's definitely going to be some stuff there.
It could be cool to kind of pick it back up and keep going and then like give it to them when they move out or something.
Yeah.
Could be kind of neat. Could be cool.